Welcome to day 9 of fixing up this old 1991 Honda Accord. By now we've done all of the needed maintenance and we've gotten into doing the fun stuff like lowering it, big exhaust, and a period correct style stereo and period correct speakers. But what we don't have is a subwoofer. And before we can even think about a subwoofer is we don't even have a trunk. I mean, we have a trunk, but we don't have the carpet and we don't have the kind of wood floor that's supposed to be there. So we're gonna fix that today. We do have the subwoofer that we want to put in there. It's this Alpine S-Series Type S 10-inch subwoofer that's gonna go great with our Alpine head unit and Alpine Type S speakers, but we need the floor. So we're going to do a little bit of CAD, cardboard aided design, make a template of this floor so that we can cut a new floorboard. Board. In months of ownership, it still has all the original junk that was in here because we haven't even touched this, like this. Tell me if this hurts.
No.
Ooh, that's some cool archaeology.
Fresh loot.
Woot! The good news is that this carpet is this kind of like, I don't know, molded carpet is in good shape. And we have all the plastics from the side. I don't know if we have, do we actually have the jack in here? Oh, we have the original factory jack. The piece we end up creating is going to be one piece, but if you can kind of imagine this as a rectangle, then another rectangle, and then a skinny narrow rectangle that has the corners cut off. Those are like the 3 pieces you're measuring, and then put cardboard in that shape and make a template and then cut out the wood. Pull this back, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Okay, we have that corner accounted for, and now we just have to create a kind of a rectangle for that. So how deep is that?
It's about 14 inches.
Make sure you have it at a stupid angle. So
yeah, try it.
Okay, 13 inches. Give me a 13-inch square by, or 13-inch by what?
Oh my lord.
No, tape it. Yes. Okay. All right. Now we have a template with corners and all. This composite fiber board, rough on one side, smooth on the other side, as far as I can tell, is exactly what comes in a car, and you can get it in an 8 by 4 foot sheet at Home Depot for like $16. So now we need to make this 1 inch wider so we can place it right about there. And then trace it, and then cut it. Okay. All my mechanics tools are Milwaukee, and my wood tools are Ryobi, so that really should tell you how much I work with wood and how I prioritize it. All right, so we cut that with a combination of circular saw and jigsaw. Now we can test fit it. Oh yeah, slide into the little...
Okay, here's a
little tight there. We had to do some minor adjustments here, but this is actually fits really nicely now. It has that weird clip there that holds it, so I'm thinking this is pretty good. We just need carpet now. I'm snapping my fingers because the editor, you just edit in the next thing. Ah, but I don't have any carpet. All right, so we got the new trunk floor in, and that looks good, but we didn't have any carpet. So it's a couple choices. We either buy fabric and cut it, but I found a good deal on actual OEM that's gonna match that kind of not typical car color burgundy. So let's see what this looks like. I bought it on eBay, haven't seen it yet. Yeah. All right, let's see. Please be in good shape. Please do not have murder stains on it. Oh, look at that. Heck yeah. So for whatever reason, this car had the original carpet that goes here. It's one piece that goes to the trunk, but it was cut. So we're gonna remove this because now we're gonna replace that. And definitely saving these little clips and using that tool to not break them. Yep. All right. So we got these clips on here. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Ooh. Nice. That's official. All right. So now that we have a trunk, we can put some stuff in there. We have this Alpine Type S in this slim box. This is Diego's daily driver, so we're not going to fill the whole trunk with subwoofers. And then we've got this old school Alpine V-Power. This is obviously used, been around the block, but it should work awesome and pair perfectly with the speaker. Then we have the amp kit. We already ran the RCA cables when we installed the head unit, so we have to run power cable from the battery all the way to the trunk, which is what we'll do first. So we'll cut this, install the fuse in line, and then just go all the way back. So the SCAR kit comes with a ring terminal on one side. This is live, don't touch this, we'll be disconnecting that shortly. But I'm just checking the length. We're gonna run along the main power cable. We're gonna have our fuse holder there. So we're gonna cut here to connect into our fuse holder, and then the rest will go off to the back of the car. Now you can just take this stripped wire and put it in there and clamp it down. But if you wanna be technically correct, which we do, you use these silver plated ferrules, and you crimp them. And you put those in here. We're leaving this fuse in because we're not going to be hooking this up to the battery right now. When you're deciding where to route your cables, you always want to avoid anything that gets hot, like exhaust manifolds, or anything that moves, like things with belts on them. But really, the simplest strategy is to just follow existing cable. So if I was on this side, I would just follow where Honda has already decided it's safe to run wires here. And on this side, I'll just gonna run along this. On almost every other Honda, I would say this grommet right here is what you should be passing the cable through. And then it comes down behind the glove box. But on this one, the glove box and air filter and heater, everything is like up against the firewall, and I've never been able to get that wire down. So we're gonna go across the firewall. See this plate. We're going to remove these two bolts from the inside to get this plate off. There's just a 12 mil. It's right here above where the clutch would be. All right, now we got this out. Now, we're not just going to pass a wire through there and then just leave this gaping hole. We're going to drill a hole in this and put a grommet in this. So this is going to be one of those occasions where the guy on YouTube has a bunch of supplies that you didn't prepare for. So hopefully you're watching this before you started the project. All right, so we've got this kit. You can get these on Amazon for cheap, of all these assorted grommets. So we're going to put a hole through this and choose a grommet like that we think is a good fit, like that, right? That's kind of what we're going for. So we're going to use a punch to make a dot. Okay, so we drilled the hole. We chose a grommet that we thought would be snug on our wire. And now we will be able to put this back in and pass this through. And that's going to be a nice tight seal and not have any sharp edges. Now we have the wire routed all along. With the crinkle wrap, it blends in with the factory look. And then it's passing through the grommet that we drilled in that plate. Then he's tightening up the plate. We've removed all these plastics, so that wire is going to run under this carpet and under this right in here, and then we'll jam it down in there and into the trunk. If you recall from our head unit video, we've had this just sitting here. So this is going to go down, doing the same job on this side, all the way to the trunk. We don't want to run our signal wire next to our power wire because we can get interference. We can end up hearing our alternator through our speakers, which we don't want. I've been doing this for 25 years where I run these opposite side of the car as a power wire. Someone may say that with modern shielded cables that's not necessary, but I'm not going to change that today we're going to run it down opposite sides to the amp. These plastic pry tools, you get a whole set of them for a few dollars on Amazon, are a great investment. On some cars, this plastic extends all the way up here and it's like the whole door, but here it's just one piece to pop, and then you can run your wires back here. And of course, it's the same on that side. Just tucking everything away deep into these upholstery cracks till you get to the trunk. Single channel amplifier, typically installed on a subwoofer, would be the only normal thing to do, has a low pass filter, which means whatever frequency we set, it's going to filter out frequencies above that at some sort of decibel per octave level that is not configurable. Because we have a crossover on the head unit, we're going to set this to the highest, and then we'll set a lower one, probably 120, 125 hertz, on the head unit. Now, if that didn't make any sense to you, comment, and I'll make a whole video about crossovers, how they work, what they do, and how to configure them. Yeah. Okay. So the amp kit came with these connectors. Oh, it even came with a little pass-through grommet I didn't realize. But I like our rubber one better. But if you didn't have that whole rubber kit, it actually came with this. Now, for a modern amplifier, we'd be using ferrules. For this old school amplifier, we use these Y connectors, these forks. So we're going to put one of these on the ground cable, one of these on the battery. And did it come with a little one for the remote? It did not, so we're going to have our own. And then we'll have to find a place to mount the ground. Now, there's a lot of opinions on mounting amplifiers. Some people like to put it on the box. I don't like to put it on the box. I respect your choice to put it on the box. I'm not putting it on the box. I'll be putting it on the back of this seat. We're missing these end caps, which would be sick. If you have them, I'd like to buy them. Maybe I can 3D print some. So we need this to not hit here or here. So we have to kind of, I mean, Diego, you're going to go from the other side and tell me if this position looks right.
Looks good.
This can go like this. This can go like this. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to put a hole in the carpet right here and run this under the carpet and then just have this like that. For reference, this is my Prelude, my wife's Prelude, where I've built this amp rack and then I have all the wires going like that. So we're going to have something kind of similar, but in this case, it's a separate board that I put carpet on. There, we're just going to go under the carpet because those seats fold down. It's really easy to do it that way. Okay, let's recap. We have this mounted. We cut some tasteful holes in the carpet here and over here. Now this goes to the back of the head unit. This blue, the power wire is going up to the battery. It is not connected to the battery. If you have it connected while you're doing all this, that's a fantastic way to short things and pop fuses. So it's not connected. We'll do that at the very end. And the remote wire is going to the stereo. Now this is the ground wire. You don't want this over 18 inches. And then you want to find a bolt somewhere that you can ground it out to the chassis of the car. We have one right here. So I removed this nut. No, I removed this bolt. And then I use a Dremel to scuff up this. If you don't have a Dremel, just a piece of sandpaper. You want bare metal there. You don't want paint. Then we're going to just put this back. So the amp kit came with speaker wire, but it was really small, really thin, and I don't want to use it. So we're going to use this bigger 16 gauge, and we're going to terminate here, go into that same hole, go under the carpet, and come out and go to the speaker, the subwoofer here. The subwoofer happens to be the perfect height for this, that it actually wedges and it's not going to move. But if we ever decided it is going to move, I would just put a little L bracket right here, just so that this doesn't slide around. But I don't think it's going to. Now, you can just put these wires into the terminals on the side of the speaker box. But if you want to be the most correct, which I do, we're going to use these ferrules and this ferrule crimp. I'll have links to all these little bits in the description of this, and you can choose if you want to use them or not, including this wire. Now this wire, I don't love it, but I bought a big spool of it. The reason I don't love it is because these two colors are not that easy to tell apart, especially on camera, but this is blue and this is like dark blue, so whatever. And now that all the cables are safely terminated, we're actually going to connect this to the battery. Buttoned up, I did drill and screw that. If you don't feel like doing that, I've seen professional shops will just zip tie this to the harness. That's okay too. I felt like being a little extra. Let's listen to it.
In a minute, and you're looking so nice, girl. Hold up, got a little business. Now we back at the crib, girl. Keep the kids from my mama's.
It works.
Come on down,
And that is how you fix the trunk, wire an amplifier, and terminate everything just right in a 1991 Honda Accord.
we got a date tonight, girl. I know it's been a minute.